Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens has come to an end, and to send it off, we're going to be playing Rush Duel using cards all throughout the Sevens era. Each week, myself and the TheDrAlex will open 5 packs of each Sevens core set and add a single card from each pack to our collection. We will then build decks and play a best of 3, with the loser banning 1 card and the winner gaining 7 points. The first player to reach points, or 7 wins, earns the title of Sevens Champion. Welcome to Rush Duel Sevens Draft. And then you will choose 3 cards in it, and those cards are banned for both of us, right? So regular bans. Then you'll choose 2 additional cards, but then those cards are banned only for me. So you can still use those cards, but I can't use those cards.
Okay.
So they're like one-sided bans.
Yeah. Okay, 3 main bans.
Yep.
Trap Hole, Star Barrier, Sea Dragon Knight.
Okay, so Trap Hole, the Star Barrier, and the Sea Dragon Knight.
Yeah.
Okay. Really strong hits. And then what about your one-sided bans?
One-sided bans. Yes, one-sided bans. Build Dragon and Caglic.
The old Ecdysis Caligleon. Okay. Well, I'm going to have to really go back into the tank and come up with something new here. Hello and welcome to episode 8 of Sevens Draft. So, we have gone 7-0, which means we would be Sevens champion, but Alex has challenged us to double or nothing. So, we're going to play to first to 10 wins, with a few more rules introduced as well. So, with that in mind, we now need to open another 60 packs and try and build something else, because now that Alex has banned out our worm strategy, we now need something else to fall back on. So our psychics are kind of dead now, and our worms are kind of dead, so we're going to have to try and find something else. Now, we're still looking for a lot of the same stuff. We're still looking for dinosaurs, we're looking for our thunder cards, and that's probably what we're going to try and build towards and play this week. So let's just fire on in and just see what we can get. So first pack. So Kime Ruler is an interesting one. In fact, we're probably going to take it. It's a secret rare, and it's nice to start off with a secret rare. So yeah, let's just take Kime Ruler. Chaotic Omega Rising. Let's see what it's got for us. First pack. Okay, Hot-Blooded Stadium is a really good one. We're probably going to take it. Yeah, we'll take Hot-Blooded Stadium. That now means with 2 copies of this card, we now potentially can do a fire strategy. Next up, Yamitarasu again. We still don't have Yami Ruler. I need to go and check how many of this card we have. I think we already have 2 of it. I mean, we don't need Psychic Upper. We already have 3. We don't really need Gaga Guts anymore either. Yes, sod it. We'll take 3. 3 copies of Yamitarasu, the Divine Delayer. Why not? Next up. I think we're taking Grounder. It's a super rare. We already have 1. That means we have 2. We still need Utopia Home, but we'll see what we can get. Alright, 5 packs of Phanta Strike Mirage Impact. Let's see what we can do. That's a rush rare. We'll take a Summon Skull. Why not? We might end up using it. Okay, Beast Gear and Hitatsumi Giant. I don't know how many Trike Foxes we are on. We only have 2 of it. We'll take a 3rd. Okay. Battle of the Motion's pretty good. How many Battle of the Motion are we on? We have 2, so that'll be our 3rd Battle of the Motion. I guess we'll take that. Alright, Genesis Master Road. Let's see what we can get. Jelly Plug. We need Jelly Plug. This is definitely the card we're taking. Next up. It's a nice fire card. Blast Jaws is a Thunder Monster. If your opponent has 1 less card in their hand, shuffle one times for attack, gain 400 attacks. That's not bad. And Zap Zap Octospark as well. Let's have a look at how many of these cards we have. So Blast Jaws, we have 1 copy of. And Zap Zap Octospark, we have 2 copies of. I think we'll take a Blast Jaws here. Next pack. Okay, we don't need the Stealth Submarine. I don't know how many Showering Infergios we have. So Showering Infergios, we have 1 copy of it. and Electrical Discharge is a very important trap card, so we'll make sure we have 3 copies of that. We have 3 copies of that, which means we're taking the Infergio. Next up. I don't even know who this is. If your opponent has faced up monsters, it's a Fire Psychic. We don't want that. It's our 3rd Duckbill. Pack number 5. So Predator's banned. I don't really think we need Snake Clown. I guess it's Showering Fergio. Go for our 3rd. Next up. That's our 3rd Karibot, I think. So I'm quite happy about that. Another one! Another multi-strike Dragon Dragius. Like, it really wants us to take it. I don't see a point in taking it. That's our 5th one that we've now opened. Yep, we'll take the picture. Next up. Beast Gear World. I think that's our first copy. We finally have it, which means we potentially could even play Beast Gears next week. Next up. How many Star Restart do we have? I think we have a lot of that card, right? Yeah, we already have 2 of this card. I would... Right, we're going to take it. We'll take Star Restart. I would like to have just the playset and be able to make the deck really strong when we do get it. Final pack. We already have Dynamic Pressure. I guess we'll take the Zenny Gabazals. Alright. So, that. So, unfortunately, not a great deal of interest here. I think the best cards we got were probably these down here, which we got the Jelly Plug, which I believe is our 2nd copy, which means we can maybe make the Thunder Fusion kind of work now. We got the Blast Jaws, 2 more copies of Showering Fergio, and the Censored Duckbill. Now, the problem the Thunder deck is going to have is we still only have 1 copy of Trigger Drago, which means making that work with having so few big boss monsters in that deck means we'll be heavily reliant on Fusion. So I'm not 100% sure on that just yet. We might be playing that this week. We'll have to wait and see. We got the first copy of Beast Gear World. This is really helpful. Unfortunately, we do need, realistically, at least 2 of this card to make that deck work. So that's on the back burner for now. And we did get a lot more dinosaur cards, but again, we need the Super King Rexes, which we still have 0 copies of, so still can't really do the dinosaurs. We did get a 2nd copy of Imaginary Actor, but I think our fusions for the Metallions are still quite lacking. We did get a Landing Star, which is really good, and Alex does have some dinosaur cards. But I think this will be better later when we start. So if Alex does take some games off us and we do get some bans, we can ban his worm strategy, and I think he will then default back onto dinosaurs, and that's when Landing Star could be really strong. So overall, I think these packs were fine. There are some okay cards in here. I didn't really get what I need, which was definitely more Thunder stuff, more Beast Gear stuff, and more dinosaur stuff. We really still need the Super King Rex, we need the Beast Gear World, and we need ideally some more Trigger Dracos. But overall, I'm feeling okay about this. Let's go and open our side sets. So, Battle Pack Volume 4. I have no idea what's in here, so we're just going to fire in and see what we can get. Most of these battle packs have been mostly useless. There haven't really been anything in there worth taking, so we're not really expecting anything. But let's just see what we can get. Pack number 1. So Dark Magic Attack Super Rare, which we already have this card, and Alligator Sword Dragon. I don't think either of these cards are particularly useful. We'll take Alligator Sword Dragon because it's funnier. Next pack, we have Emperor of the Land and Sea. I guess I don't need it. I'll take another Alligator Sword Dragon. Next up, Outer Space or Dark Magic Attack. I really, again, don't need either of these cards. I guess we'll take Outer Space. Next up, we have Mechleon, Thunder Beetle Gift. We'll take Mechleon. And finally, we'll take a 3rd Alligator Sword Dragon. So again, wasn't expecting much. Didn't get much. About what I expected. Let's go into deck building. This is the deck we're bringing to today's game. So this is a Thunder deck for the most part, like a Thunder Fusion deck. We are playing some of these fusions, and we're going to see what we can do with them, but our big tribute monsters were kind of lacking in the Thunder department, so we did have to kind of get a little bit creative. Let's go over like card by card. We have the Blue Eyes White Dragon. Now obviously this is not a Thunder card, but this is a 3000 attack monster, and 3000 is a very key number. 3000 means it can trade with Alex's Blue Eyes, and it means it can beat over Alex's Bill Dragon or his Dracrush, because even under the field spell, those cards only get up to 29 and 28 respectively, so 3000 will beat both of them. Next up, it's hard to talk about the next few cards without jumping straight ahead to Thunderbold. So Thunderbold is a very important card that works around having lots of level 7 monsters with different names in your deck. This is a Thunder card as well, so it does kind of fit in with the theme of the deck. So during the turn this card was normal summoned, send the top card of your deck to the graveyard. This card gains 300 attack until the end of the turn, which is already good. 2600 is pretty decent to attack with. Then if you have 4 or more level 7 monsters with different names in your graveyard, you can special summon 1 level 7 monster from your graveyard to the field face up. So, because we don't have enough Thunder Boss monsters to really just make a pure Thunder deck, we have just kind of stuck in all of these good level 7 statted monsters or level 7 monsters with decent effects. The first of which is Master Fiery Noodle Jonan Die Up, who is just a 2500 attack monster. Just decent stats. Ideally, he just comes out and is just a big beat stick. Next up is Construct Demolition Worm Drag-Crush. So this card also is level 7, does have decent attack in 2400, but if Alex is still on his Peaks of Blistopia field spell, this card will actually get an even bigger boost and end up at 2800. So just a really good kind of counter, like kind of a meta call against Alex. The next up, we have 2 copies of Surge Bolt Lizard. This is just a 1500 attack Thunder monster. Then we have Angler Coil, another 1500 attack Thunder monster, except this one's water, whereas this one was light. Next up, we have Thunder Beetle Bass Drum. This is in here just to fill slots. We just needed more Thunder monsters, so it's in here. It's only 800 attack, 800 defense. It's probably not going to be used for much other than just having more Thunder type monsters to fulfill our effects conditions. Next up, we have 2 Jelly Plug. This is a very important card as this is used in both of our fusions. Only 900 attack, 900 defense. Stats aren't anything special, but we'll be using this exclusively to fuse. Next up, we have Kimmy Luna, the Lunar Dark Decider. Now, this card is a bit of a shame because it is a level 8, which means it does not work very well with Thunderbolt. But we need a card like this to get over Alex's Ecdysis Caligleon and any of the other big boss monsters he has that we can't otherwise beat over. Since Alex keeps taking away all of our abilities to change his monsters to defense in block attack and darkness approaches, Kimmy Luna is all we've got. So we need it to be in the deck as just a deterrent to the stuff that we can't out otherwise. Next up, Blitzkrieg Cavalry Trigger Drago. So we would ideally like to be playing 3 of this card. Unfortunately, we've only seen 1 of it. So level 7, 2500 attack Thunder monster, really good stats. So in the top card of your deck to the graveyard, this card gains 300 attack, so it's a 2800, which is decent, until the end of the turn. Also, if your opponent has no cards in their hand, this card inflicts piercing damage, and piercing is always really, really good, especially in a limited format like this, where Alex could just put a load of monsters in defense, and we need a way to crash over them and get his life points. Next up, Headbutt Cachalot. So this is a card we were using a few weeks back. Again, level 7, 2500 attack, really good stats, really good level. Then the top card of your deck to the graveyard, 1 face-up monster in your opponent's field loses 500 attack, which is, again, just a fantastic effect. Just being able to weaken a monster. This can technically crash with a Blue Oyster Dragon. This can attack over a Bill Dragon or a Drag Crush that's being boosted by a field spell. So just really strong card. Next up, Full Meteor Impact. This card is basically just a level 7 monster with 2500 attack. Its effect is irrelevant since we don't have any level 7 or higher spellcast type monsters, so it's basically just, it might as well just be a second copy of Jonan Diet with a different name. Next up, Shock Dragon. So this is a level 7 monster again, but his attack is a lot lower than our other monsters, but he does a 2500 defense, which could be key. So his effect is we can send the top card of our deck to the graveyard. Until the end of this turn, all face-up monsters with the highest attack on your opponent's field lose attack equal to the attack of the face-up monster with the highest attack on your field. So if we can get out, let's say, our Blue Eyes White Dragon, and Alex has, let's say, his own Blue Eyes White Dragon, we can reduce his monster's attack down to 0, which is pretty good. It's, at the very least, this card on its own comes out as a 16, can weaken something else by 16, and then can attack basically over a 32. So it's good enough. Shocklead should be able to get over anything we need it to. It's just going to be probably killed on the crackback. Next up, Zap Zap Octospark. So if you normal summon this card this turn and have a face-up Thunder type monster on your field, this card gains 400 attack until the end of the turn, then inflict 400 damage to your opponent. So 2000 attack for a 1-tribute monster is kind of crap. The reason we are playing this is because we need it for our fusion. We need it to make Showering Infergio, which we'll come back to later. Next up, Thunder the Thunder. This is actually a pretty decent card. 1300 attack is fine, and we can send 1 card from our hand to the graveyard, 1 face-up monster in opponent's field, lose 300 attack, which again, could weaken it just enough to crash over with something that actually matters, something bigger. Or if if Alex is on 1500 attackers, we could maybe just weaken one down and crash over it with this on its own. Next up, Blast Jaws. 1200 attack Thunder monster. Your opponent has 1 or less card in their hand. Shuffle 1 Thunder type monster from your graveyard into the deck. 1 face-up Thunder type monster on your field gains 400 attack. These little increments, like little boosts and little weakens that this deck can put out, could all add up to actually allow us to trade or crash over some of Alex's cards. And that seems to be what the Thunder strategy is all about, and I am all for that. So Emitter Stag, this card is in here as it is a 1100 Thunder type monster. Next up, we have Censored Duckbill. So place one card from your hand on the bottom of the deck. Add one level 5 or higher Thunder type monster from your graveyard to your hand. This is primarily going to be used probably with Thunderbold, as being able to recycle it and keep getting its effect off is really, really strong. Obviously, it can be used with Trigger Drago, who's also a great card to bring back. And it can actually be used with Zap Zap Octospark if we have used it prior and then need to get it back to perform a fusion. So I'm quite happy with this card, and we have 3 copies of it and it was a rare, so yeah, pretty chuffed with that. Next up, Spirit of Bolt Inspiration. I believe this was a super rare in one of the sets. But send the top card of your deck to the graveyard. Shuffle one card from your opponent's graveyard into the deck. If you shuffle a spell or trap by this effect, you can shuffle one additional card. So this effect might be relevant. I don't know how much Alex needs in his graveyard at the moment. I mean, the only card I can think of is Ecdysis Caligleon, and this card could weaken it. But if nothing else, it's just another Thunder type monster to fulfill some of the effects of our spells and traps, such as Clapping Thunder. You have 2 or more face-up Thunder-type monsters on your field. All face-up monsters on your opponent's field lose 400 attack/defense to the end of this turn. Then if you have 3 Thunder-type monsters, you can draw 1 card. So again, weaken Alex's cards, draw a card to replace it. Just really strong effect. I'm quite happy to have this. We'll have to see if we can combine it with effects like Thunder the Thunder and Blast Jaws and just get these little increments to just kind of edge over Alex's monsters. Next up, Trailblazing Thunderbolt. If you have face-up Thunder-type monster on the field, destroy a spell trap card. Again, just really good. We need spell trap removal. This is fantastic, so we have so many Thunder types. We are on 2 copies of Fusion. We do have the third. We're choosing not to put it in the main. That is because we only have 2 copies of our Jelly Plug. So we're not expecting to get 100% value off these cards, and we don't want to get clogged up with too many copies of it. And finally, Electrical Discharge. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, shuffle 2 Thunder-type monsters from your graveyard into the deck. The attacking monster loses 800 attack until the end of this turn, then inflicts 400 damage. So a combat trick that's a decent amount, 800 is a decent chunk to lose, is really impactful. This could be game determinative, and this is one of the main reasons we decided to play Thunder, because this card is just so good. Just combat tricks in general are just fantastic, and this one especially I'm really a big fan of. Next up, we'll go over to our other boss monsters in the Fusion deck. So we can get Showering and Fergio by fusing Zap Zap Octospark and Jelly Plug. We can add 1 Zap Zap Octospark from our graveyard to our hand, then inflict 800 damage to the opponent. Then if your opponent has a face-up level 8 monster on their field, this turn, this card gains 800 attack, and all face-up level 8 monsters on your opponent's field lose 800. So this is an interesting one. This basically counters level 8 monsters. So by using this, if Alex has almost exactly Blue Eyes White Dragon, we could boost ourselves up to 3600 attack and weaken his down to 2200 and inflict 800 burn, which is nice, but for the most part I expect us to be summoning this just out as a 2800 attacker, which if that is the case, we might end up siding in the Umis to get it up and over to that 3000 mark. And the other fusion we're playing is Poseidon, Advent Charger, Angler Coil, and Jelly Plug. Send the top card of your deck to the graveyard. All face-up Thunder-type monsters on your field gain 400 attack, so he gets himself up to 3000, which is a decent number, and he's also level 7, which means we could bring him back using Thunderbolt. So I'm quite... I'm optimistic about these fusion monsters. I think they could be really strong, and it's going to be really fun to actually use a fusion during Sevens Draft. So our side deck is... There's not a lot in here that we're actually planning to bring in. This is all just in here in case we feel like we need it. So we have just 1 copy of Thunderbeat Hi-Hat, in case we feel like, for whatever reason, 10 is too many spell and traps, we can just take one out and put this in. We are on 2 copies of Fire Golem. This is because it is just another card that we could put in if we just feel like we need more monsters, and it can weaken defense monsters in case Alex is on some sort of defensive strategy. We have the Hammer Crush, generic spell trap. We ideally would like to play this in the main, because I think a 3rd spell trap destruction would be really good, but its cost is a little bit steep for us, and we don't really want to be discarding cards all that much. We're on Blades of the Divine Wind. We are on a decent amount of normal monsters, and if we find that we just need removal, this is the way to go, and we can also bring in Thunder Beetle Hi-Hat with it to make it more consistent. We are on Ancient Barrier. Again, if Alex has found some really disgusting trap cards, we can put this in and protect our Thunder monsters while attacking. This is less useful in this deck, though, because we have a lot of non-Thunders in it. Next up, Crank to 10. So by discarding a monster from our hand to the graveyard, gain 400 attack and piercing. Again, it's decent. It is not as good as the Star Barrier in my opinion, or the Star Power Up in my opinion, but still decent card. Next up, the Star Power Up. Shuffle 3 monsters from your graveyard into the deck. 1 face monster figures 500 attack and defense. I really wanted to find room to put this in the main deck. I just really couldn't. I really wanted to stick at the 10 spell traps because I find that this is the best These are the best ratios for me to draw out enough tribute fodder and tribute them off to get out the bigger guys. So this card might find its way in, I'm not sure. We're on our third copy of Fusion, just in case we feel like we're desperate to get these guys out, we can just side this in and hope we don't brick on it. 2 copies of Umi, this does buff our Thunder monsters, and this would be in the main if we had any more space. We're on Phantom Bind, in case we feel like, again, we really need another combat trick, and then we're on the Acetic Acid Trap Hole, which I'm probably not going to bring in, but it's just in case we feel like we need more interaction on Alex's turn. But yeah, this is the deck we're bringing. I'm feeling pretty good about this deck. I think specifically the spell and trap cards in this deck are really, really powerful, and if we can summon out the fusions, we'll be in a pretty good position. So let's jump into the games and see what Alex has got for us. So, how do you think you did this week on pulls?
Alright. There's not much difference in my deck.
I mean, yeah, your deck is other than getting a bunch of rush rares or something, your deck can't really improve too much, I don't think.
Yeah.
My pulls this week, I would say, were pretty bad overall. Like, there were definitely a couple of standouts, but nothing that I'm like, oh wow, this card is going to completely change everything. Oh wow, this crazy power pick is going to slot into my deck and be incredible.
Yeah.
I think I just kind of got some stuff, which some of it's gone into this deck, some of it hasn't. So last week you banned out a lot of my power cards, and you specifically banned me off of Bill Dragon, which in a sense probably completely kills the worm strategy for me. So I'm on a different deck this week, and you will get to experience it in full force. Have you got any prediction for what I might be bringing?
I don't know.
Could literally be anything, I suppose.
Yeah, chairs maybe.
Okay, let's see if your prediction of chairs is correct. Let's jump in.
Let's go with that.
Ooh. Hey, alright, we'll go first. Although this hand leaves something to be desired. I will... I think I'm going to set 3. What I want to do here. And set a back row and then pass back to you.
Okay. I will set 3 back row.
Okay.
Set a monster.
Ooh. Okay, okay. Alright, I am going to tribute 2 monsters to summon Headbutt Cachalot.
Sea Serpent.
2500 attack Sea Serpent monster.
Oh, there's thunder in the graveyard. Interesting.
I mean, you know, you'll probably understand as we go on. Question is, do I want to get more aggressive? I think I do. I'm going to flip summon out Under the Thunder.
I got a normal 3.
Blast Jaws. Yeah, we opened all 3, which is not the best.
I'm gonna flop over a Acetic Trap Hole.
That's fine. I'm happy for that trap to be gone. I'll summon another one. Go to battle, and I guess I'll attack with the 2500 just in case. Then we'll get in for 25. Then I will pass back to you.
Okay. All set.
Okay.
Slugger. Ooh, Big Roller. Drill Lizard.
Tribute. Okay. No field spells, so
Build
you can't use the
Dragon.
effect.
Activate Primal Howling.
Oh, that's annoying. I can still out your guy though with my Cachalot's effect. It depends what your back row is.
Go to battle.
In fact, all 3 of my cards kind of out you.
Yeah.
Okay, we will... I guess we'll start with this. I will normal summon Emitter Stag. Then I'm going to throw down the spell card Clapping Thunder. Oh yes. I forgot that Cachalot is not a Thunder type. That's fine. We will activate the effect of Cachalot. Weaken this further. Then why not? We'll activate Blast Jaws. And I'll put a Blast Jaws back into the deck. And I'll buff Blast Jaws. Then I will set a back row and go to battle. We will attempt to attack with Cachalot. Does he have the constructor return?
I do.
Okay, that's fine. This does actually get heavily punished by field spell. I guess the play probably would have been Blast Jaw's Crash. Alright, I'll pass that. Although I would have
Well,
to
I mean,
trade...
it would have been Blastraw's Crash into Catch-a-Lot Crash.
Yeah. So I would have traded my whole board, but I would have kept you off with Bill Dragon, which is probably worth it.
Let's see.
Unless you have Gantry.
Owl.
Yeah, that's fine.
Put that away. Serpenter.
Yep.
To... Summon Lindmule.
Everyone's favourite. Okay, the question is, are you crashing with me or not? I kind of have to, because I can out you.
Yeah.
Well, I need something good off the top here. That's not quite it. I will stare down at this 1400 attacker and be scared. Alright, I'm going to set, and then pass back to you.
Okay. Well, we got Peaks of Blastopia.
Okay.
Get out. Pitcher.
Yeah, there he is.
Bill Dragon.
Use the effect roller. Okay. Now,
Big roller.
now things are scary.
Go battle.
Got Censored Duckbill. And Thunder Beetle Bass Drum.
Nice.
Okay. What do we... How do we use this to out what you've got? The question I am faced with. Do this. I guess that's the only play I've got, so we'll go for it. I'll set a monster. I'll tribute 2 to summon Kime Luna. Activating her effect, I can change, I guess, both of these to defense, and then change her to defense. I will then set 2 more monsters. Then I will tribute 2 to summon Rakrush.
Nice.
Now I'll attempt to attack over this and see the second return and then be a little bit sad. On the plus side, with the current board, you can't out both of my monsters, so I'm just going to have to pass on that. It's only a matter of time before you draw something scary.
Okay, I can do the painter
Okay.
into my own Drag Rush.
Ooh. Okay.
Pitcher. Tribute 2 for Blue Eyes.
Bring back Draco.
Activate. And bring back Drag Rush.
Okay, well, I'm not dead. I have that going for me.
Yeah, go to battle.
Ow. 3k to the dome! Okay.
Yes.
This is fine. This is fine. This is nothing to worry about. I take it back. This is everything to worry about. This hand is dog shit. Oh god. Have I just lost because of this draw? Oh my god, that's terrible. I potentially had an out, but I've drawn 4 tribute monsters.
Ooh, that's rough.
So, if I play any of these, there's no combination of these cards that makes... Alright, well, we'll do what we can. We'll set Then I will tribute set, and then I will tribute set, and you've got it. I'll let you have the satisfaction.
Yeah.
Here we go. Where's Zap Zap Octospark? There it is. Ow.
Woo.
Alright, that's game 1 to you.
Okay.
Let's see if I can do anything to make a comeback in game 2. Alright. Game 2, let's go. I'm gonna go first.
Okay.
It's an awkward hand, but we can make stuff happen. I'm going to set 2 monsters. Then I'm going to tribute both of them to summon out full Meteor Impact. Set and pass. Get 2,500 bodies, respectable for turn 1.
Slugger. Drill, is it? Bill Dragon. Shovelon. Big Roller.
Okay, so we're crashing.
Let's see if we crash.
19 to 19's fine. Okay. Is doable. Right. Summon out Thunderbold Lizard.
Yeah.
And another one.
Oh.
Then I'm going to tribute them both. Summon Thunderbold. Activating his effect. I can go up to 26. Set a back row. Go to battle. And crash over your big roller. Half back. 23 is not huge. It might be enough.
Set. Okay. Set 2 back row in it.
Well, I'm fine with that play. But this hand is kind of... ugh. Are we throwing anything down is the question. I could use your effect. No reason not to. Oh, it's only a turn it's summoned, so that is a reason not to. Which means now you're just a 2300 attack liability. Potentially. I will normal summon Blastjaws. I will then tribute it to summon Zap Zap Octospark. Then I'm going to tribute both of these monsters to summon Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Ooh.
Set another back row, go to battle, and then just swing at one of these. Pass back to you.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh, peaks.
Okay. This shouldn't let you get over me with anything. Just on its own.
That. And.
Okay. Okay, well, I'm quite happy with you having nothing at the moment. I guess I'm gonna flip over Hammer Crush. And then I will discard Blastjaws and pop your Shangri-La. Next up, I think to play it as safe as physically possible, I'm going to set 2. Then I'm going to tribute both. Summon Kime Luna, activating her effect. I'll change the battle positions of these two. And then I'll change her to defense. We'll set another back row, we'll go to battle, and we will attempt to attack over Lindmule. Pass to you.
Ooh. Haha. Okay. Serpenter.
Okay.
Tribute to
Oh, it's only 3k at the moment.
Caglion.
I can work with 3k.
Big
I can work with 3.1.
Activate
Oh, no.
promo. How long we'll get rid of that?
Sir, please.
I will set a back row.
Okay.
Go to battle and hope I can beat over this.
I will activate Electrical Discharge.
Oh, it's rough.
Yeah, I can shuffle 2 cards back in. Use these 2. That's an annoying set of cards I've just drawn. I suppose I can filter them out a little bit. I will normal summon Thunder the Thunder. Trigger your
Activate.
Trap-Hole.
That's a trap hole.
Well, I don't think I need to normal summon this. But we'll just set it. And we'll set a back row as well. Then we will go to battle phase and I think just try and attack over this. Your turn. Blue Eyes White Dragon beats the deck. Let's go.
Yeah. I think that's just game because I only one normal summonable monster in my hand.
Ooh. I mean, I'm only attacking you with the Blue Eyes right now. I have a 0 attack monster and a defense monster that I didn't put in attack, so you never know.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll take a look-see. Oh, that is unfortunate. That does very much have very little attack points, doesn't it? I will... I really want to play it safe, so I'm just going to go to battle. We'll just declare an attack with this. Then I will pass back to you.
Yeah.
I think arguably I'm playing this a little bit too safe, but if you brick that hard, probably fine.
Yeah, no, all I've got's shovel on, so I'm just gonna let's go next.
Alright, well that's 2 games. Let's go to game 3.
I'll go first.
Okie dokie.
That. Let's add in.
Okie dokie. We'll draw. Thank you, top of the deck. If I didn't draw that, I'd probably be fucked. Set. Set. Tribute 2 for Cachalot. And then just get in. Pass back. Okie dokie.
Shovel on, roller, and then.
Ooh, rough hand then. Ooh, then again, my hand is also pretty rough. We'll fire off the effect. I will normal summon Surge Bolt Lizard. Go to battle. I guess we'll attempt to attack it with Surge Bolt. And get him for 25. And then it's your turn.
Okay. Snowcap Summit.
Very much an unbrick card, isn't it?
Slugger. Dragon.
Okay, bring that big roller.
Roller back. Go battle. Swing over the lizard.
Okay, so this is pretty good. Oh, mind you, it depends what your back row is, really, doesn't it? Oh, this hand is testing me. We will activate the effective Cachalot. Try and weaken this. Set a back row, go to battle, and attempt to attack. Oh. Probably going to be met with Constructor Return. Not much I can do about it. Then pass back.
Okay. Well, I can. Serpenter.
Okay.
What have I- Oh, right, yeah, only takes one.
Mhm.
Well,
Use the effect, bring back Dracrush.
effect.
Okay.
Go to battle and hope to
Maybe 49.
just
Right.
beat in.
I don't know what I could draw here that get me out of this. Certainly not that. I think you have this, buddy.
Yeah.
I will normal summon Sensor Duckbill. I will activate Trailblazing Thunderbolt and get rid of this field spell. Then I will attack into the Blue Eyes White Dragon.
The brave little duckbill who could.
The little Duckbill hooker. Yeah, my hand is 4 tribute monsters. So
It's rough.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, I built my deck with a lot of tribute monsters, so this is a risk that was always, there. Like, if I really wanted to not brick this hard, I could have played a lot less.
Yeah.
So I can't be too upset with it. Your deck though, however, looking strong as ever. I mean that second game, I feel like I just drew all of my back row, and that just kind of carried me through. Like that combat trick reducing your attack by 800 was huge. But other than that middle game, the first and the last game, you just summoned these enormous boards and just made it very difficult for me to do anything.
Yep. What worms are good at.
Well, you're gonna have to see how you do without your worms, because I get a ban this week. You probably have a good idea of what I'm gonna ban. I'll give you a clue. He was on the field at the end of that game. He's the key to the worm strategy.
Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you're gonna have to work out what you're gonna do without your Bill Dragon next week, I think.
So Bill Dragon's going, yeah?
Yeah, Wicked is now. I am banning your Constructor Worm Bill Dragon. So it was already on the one-sided ban list, but now it is on the two-sided ban list. The actual ban list. So, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, GG, buddy.
GG. Oh, it took me 7 weeks of banning all your shit.